Ryan has been talking a lot as of late, talking about his Laker team, currently 3 games over 500, talking about his life-changing experiences over the last 18 months, which has affected his image, and yes, talking about Karl Malone and explaining why he accused his former teammate of making a pass at his wife, Vanessa. Kobe sharing his thoughts with John Saunders and the rest of the NBA shoot-around gang.
What prompted you to come out publicly and say what you said, first of all? And more importantly, do you believe you were the first to touch on the issue publicly?
No, I didn't touch on it at all, to begin with. When everything broke out surrounding the radio interview, I had several reporters come up to me and ask me on camera and off camera, what was the personal feud that took place between myself and Karl, because they hadn't known about it, whether it's from him or from his agent, I don't know. And my response to them was, look, it's a personal matter, it was resolved in a personal way, and that's that. And then all of a sudden, I read articles in the paper when people talking about the story and telling half-truths about what took place. I wasn't fine with that. That didn't sit well with me at all.
But, Kobe, in your mind, as you see things, did Karl Malone make a pass at your wife?
You know what? I know what took place. I know what I feel like took place. Those surrounding the situation knows. We all know what happened in the situation, and but other than that, it's just water under the bridge. I mean, I'm just trying to move on with it. My family and I, we're just trying to move on from it, and whatever he decides to do is what he decides to do.
Kobe, I've been doing this for an extremely long time, and it's hard for me to remember a fall from grace that is greater than yours. You were one of the most popular players in the league, and still are, but there are people out there who do not support you, and you have the situation where players and coaches are leaving. Even Barry Bonds, with all the steroid allegations, doesn't seem to have fallen from grace as much as you. Is any of this your fault, or why do you think this is happening?
Yeah, I can't sit up here and say, I'm not at fault at all for anything that took place. I mean, if I could go back and do some things differently, I would. With the Shaq thing, the Phil thing, and all of that. But, there's nothing I can do about it now, and I can only learn from what took place in the past and just try to move on and just try to do the best job I can and just try to help us win ball games. And, I've seen many dark days. Us as a family, we've seen many dark days, but, the important thing to remember is that there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, nobody's perfect, Kobe. We all know that. But at the same time, when you talk to players around the league, especially those that are friendly with some of the guys that used to play with you, mainly Shaq, what they would say is that Kobe brought some of this on himself. He's not like us, or he distanced himself from us, or whatever. Is there anything you feel now specifically that you have done that you should have done differently, not just in the last year, but throughout your career in the NBA?
Yeah, you know what? I probably keep in contact with the guys a little more. I mean, there's some of the players that when we came into the league, came in the league together, and we knew each other, had a good rapport with one another. But I felt like, as the years went on, and I became consumed in our situation and trying to win championships here, that I kind of lost touch with some of the players. And, as a consequence, they kind of just go about believing, rumors about me and about my personality and about being aloof and, being standoffish or whatever it is. I mean, you'd be amazed to hear, like, some of the stuff that my teammates see, like, Chucky and Karan and all these players and what they expected, coming in to play with me here in L.A.
Kobe, I definitely hear that, but what I'm asking you is, what part did you play in that? I know you say you needed to keep in contact more. Maybe you should have been in contact with them more. But when you hear stuff like this, you never addressed it during those times? I mean, you just let it slide? I mean,
I really didn't hear much about it, to be honest with you. I kind of just stayed focused on what we had to do, and what I had to do to help us win a championship. I never really looked at it as being that big a deal. I never felt like I had to reach out and constantly talk to players. Always, assume that everything was all good. So